Alright guys, here we go with another video. Sorry for not doing any videos last week. I want to do videos about mock drafts and all that stuff like I said I was going to, but my draft was on Thursday and Friday, so I didn't want to really make videos before that. And then after that, kind of the weekend, so, you know, I kind of got shit out of luck. But this video we're going to talk about my players that I actually got in my actual draft on Thursday in the auction draft. On right we have the auction cost, and on the left we have my team. So what happened in the draft is I usually try to go for one of the big name guys. I usually try to go with the big name guys. I really wanted Miguel Cabrera, but he went for 65, and he has all these kind of problems to go for 65. He has injury and whatnot. So I wanted him, but at a discount. 65 is still pretty decent for our league. Mike Trout went for 78. Kershaw went for 74 because it's a LA Dodger league, you know. Mike Trout went for 78, like I said. McCutcheon went for 58. So I started realizing that a lot of these players were going to go for an absurd amount of money. Stanton went for 70 as well. Because everyone has, in our league, usually we know who likes who, and so people try to bid another player up. They usually end up going for an absurd amount of money, and that's just how it goes. So, so my first player was Matt Kemp, and I was kind of bummed about it. And I keep getting text messages, and I was kind of bummed about it. But I actually did want Matt Kemp, and I was just kind of bummed that he was my first player, and I didn't get a Stanton or a Cabrera. So it wasn't really that I was really bummed at the player, but I was bummed at just missing out on all these players. Of course, Abreu started going for 46. Tulo went for 32, and I just didn't want to put that much money on a injury-prone shortstop. The very first player I got that was really, really good, and I was really excited, was Max Scherzer. He went for 35, which I like. I think he could be up there with Kershaw, and Kershaw went for double that. So I would take him. And a couple players after that was nominated was Kluber. I thought I was going to try to. I thought somebody was going to try to bid me up for Kluber, and I was going to let him go to that bidder, but I ended up getting him for $20, which in my mind is a steal. I didn't really want him, but after that I have Matt Kemp, Max Scherzer, and Corey Kluber, and I decided I'm just gonna go pitching heavy. I'm gonna try to get a bunch of stud pitchers. So the next guy I got, as you can see here, it was Jordan Zimmerman. I got him for $14. So I got Zimmerman for 14, and I got DeGrom and Harvey as well. Harvey I paid 24 for. So I ended up getting him for. I ended up getting Harvey for what I should have got Zimmerman for. So Zimmerman should have went for it in the 20s because of position scarcity at that point. But he ended up going for 14, and Harvey ended up going for 24, 25. So I'll take the swap there. But that left me with a lot of holes on hitting, so I decided I need to get some do or die player, type players like a Bryce Harper and George Springer and Corey Dickerson. I also wanted to get players that get not only steals but home runs, and Springer is supposed to run more along with maybe Bryce Harper and Matt Kemp. So hopefully they all get double digits here along with supplying me for the power. So I got Dickerson, Springer, and Harper and Kemp as my, hopefully one of these guys returns first round value type players. And because I got Kemp and Harper, two injury prone guys, I decided I should get Christian Yelich and Jason Worth. Uh, this is the guy that I'm really mad I got, Billy Hamilton. I ended up um, bidding $8 for him, and nobody else bid anything else, and I was kind of really pissed off about it. I've been trying to trade him ever since, but um, I do need his steals at the same time. He has 56. He has just about more than everyone in my starting lineup at this point. So I do kind of need his steals, but I don't have anywhere to put him with the um, eight outfielders I have, and the actually 10 outfielders I have, but two of them are some different position. I also got Arenado because I really like Arenado, and I needed a third baseman. And as you can see here, we have deployment of some of the strategies we were talking about. So we do play in the LA League, and we do have a lot of Dodger homers. We have probably six Dodger fans, maybe seven, in on the squad. And we threw out Jock Peterson there first. Actually, he doesn't go to a Dodger homer. He goes to a Cubs fan, but he still overpays for him $11 in the league we did the next day, which was a standard draft. I took him in like the 25th round, 20th round or something like that. So I took him for $1 at that cost. Where's he at? Chris Bryant. Here's another a strategy where you throw out players on that person's team. So we threw out Chris Bryant. At this point, if it takes Chris Bryant for more than $2, it's a win for the player who nominated him, because that's kind of overspending. Of course, Chris Bryant is supposed to be on the Cubs starting lineup now. Even though they would get a year extra eligibility, holding him off a couple weeks. He's kind of twisting their arm because of how good he's done. But getting him for $12 is relatively high. Like, that's pretty much basing that he's gonna do something this year. I mean, he's got to live up to some type. He's got to be better than Billy Hamilton, right? Because I got Billy Hamilton for $8. I also got Zimmerman, Jordan Zimmerman, for $14, so he's almost up there, right? As you can also see, I deployed the strategy. Where is he at? Where I threw out a hitter, a person in that position first, so I could get a person. Okay, so here we go. So I don't think I threw him out, but I didn't want Gaddis, and Mimi Time got him for $6. But I did want Mesoraco. So I wanted Mesoraco or Lucroy. Evan Gaddis was gone, so next guy was Ricardo's team. He actually threw out Lucroy, and I wanted Lucroy, but he had more money than me, so I decided to let him take Lucroy for the 13 and wait on Mesoraco. So after that, Mesoraco was taken, but before that, Cole Calhoun. I was bidding with Mimi Time on Cole Calhoun, and I seen that if I would let him take Cole Calhoun, I would have more money, so I would have a higher chance of taking Mesoraco. So that's I kind of didn't want Mesoraco, but at the same time, I did need a impact bat, and if he does anything like what he did last year and gets more at bats, he could probably hit 30 home runs. Who knows? He can swing it though. So that was kind of my strategy there. I also took Dickerson for $12 at 105 rank, a nominated player. So I like the value there. I really did want Chris Davis, but he went for $10, and that's too much. Doug Fister did want him, but he went for a little bit higher. Garrett Cole wanted him. He went for $10. I just didn't want to spend that money. And I did want Mookie Betts and Jacob deGrom. I figured that for a guy like Garrett Cole or who else? For a guy like Garrett Cole, I could get two players in the bottom, so I decided to stay off him. The one thing that was pretty amazing with this draft, and I will say this, it usually doesn't happen, is closers were going for a ridiculous amount of money. So here we have Houston Street going for $13. I don't know if he just had the money, but obviously somebody was bidding him up. David Robertson went for 10. Melancon, whatever his name is, he went for 9. Rosenthal went for 9. Betances went for 4. Allen went for 11. That's just too much money to spend on a closer. It's pretty much a crapshoot, and some of these guys aren't going to be worth their value because they will lose a job, they will get injured, they will lose that job because they got injured. And that's something I didn't really want to spend my money on. And not only that, but I did end up getting Drew Storen for, what did I get him for, like $6 maybe? At this point it was, oh yeah, I got him for $6. At this point I needed a closer, and I wanted one that was on the Nationals because I have Zimmerman and Scherzer, and I wanted to get a win and a save off of that game. Anyways, with this strategy, I kind of did hamstring myself as well. Because of all the outfielders I took, and because I needed a lot of bench players just in case I got injured and whatnot, I ended up not even getting a closer. I actually just dropped my shortstop for a closer. I also need to pick up a shortstop, or else I'm going to get no stats there. And shortstop is kind of a crapshoot as well, so I need to choose between like a Johnny Peralta or Xander Bogaerts. Might take Bogaerts, but Peralta's pretty much floor of what he does is probably Bogaerts' ceiling, except Bogaerts might get a higher average. So there we go. That's the strategy I went with. Hopefully this team is relatively good to me this year. But that is the first step of fantasy. I mean, now it's all about grooming your team and trading players to get better players that will put you in a better position to win. So I have a lot of good good guys. Maybe I could trade a couple of good guys and get a great shortstop or a good shortstop. I also have a lot of pitching, so maybe I could trade some pitching for some hitting, or pitching and an outfielder for a hitter. But that's just some things to worry about later. I did kind of like the draft because I do like watching pitching, and that's kind of what I went for. But anyways, let me know who I screwed up on, who I paid too much money for, who I shouldn't have drafted, who I should have drafted. Should I have went for the $79 on trial, even though probably he would have went 80. But let me know. And hopefully you guys have a great Monday. I will be coming out with another couple episodes later on this week. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like. Bye bye.